Hey everyone, this is Stevie Richards. Welcome to the Big Fitness Show, episode 019, take two. How do you like that? Like I exposed the fact I messed up the first take. Oh, Mike Behrens, my co-host, thought it was an excellent take, but I
I did.
stopped it. I cursed. I did all that stuff. We don't need explicit content yet.
Yeah, that's all
Get a
right.
few more episodes in.
That's all right. We're good. So I thought it was a perfectly fine take, but we're fine with a take two. We can do a take three if you even want to, but I think take two is good.
When we get about 3 minutes in, usually I'm like, screw it. We'll just do whatever. But
Yeah, let's just roll.
Big Mike Behrens, along with now I am Smedium.
Medium.
Cool. Smedium.
Yeah,
185.8, the mystery can die. Hey, I don't mind. This is the leanest I've been,
yeah,
not for not the way I wanted it, but this is the leanest
sure.
I've been in years. So I don't know.
Yeah,
People
no,
either
it's good.
super sick or super lean. I don't know. There's no in between.
You're super lean, dude. You must be on something doing it, getting it right. I said you posted
I
this
must
morning
be
that
on something. That's going to be our steroid episode. We got that coming up, everybody. There's a little preview. I'm not on anything. If
yeah.
I'm on anything, whatever drug dealer I have has completely bamboozled me and given me some kind of just olive oil or something.
That's fair.
Besides, I'm
That's
afraid of
totally fair.
needles anyway. That's what kept me off it initially.
Yeah. No, I
Hate
think
it.
I think the 185 you posted on your Instagram this morning about being you're good for the cruiserweight division. I think you should give it a run, dude. Might as well. Get big
Do I have to
call it a
unlearn
comeback.
psychology then? Is that my next step?
Uh maybe maybe a little bit. You
He's
might have to
laughing.
learn to do a
You've
couple
wrestled some cruiserweights, haven't you?
one or two. I'm just gonna shut up before I say
Famous
something gets
last words.
myself
If
in
you
trouble.
famous last words, if you're ever calling a match or trying to get a spot like to be done in the ring with Mike or myself or other people that have been in, when you start off with, "Hey, you know what would be cool?" We're not listening after that.
I've never heard that ever
You
once.
are the Charlie Brown teacher from those words on.
Uh, I've never shot anything down after hearing those words either. That's for sure. Just going to get us in all kinds of
Laughing
trouble today.
sarcastically, aren't you?
A little bit, my friend, a little
Well,
bit.
it
But
doesn't
I
matter
really
because
think,
if they want to fight us, they have to mimic like everything ahead of time. Like
Mhm.
we used to watch people reverse the whip in the hallway and bounce off of the wall like it's a rope. So we're going to see them coming a mile away
Yeah,
because they're
totally.
going to do the spinning, like fighting spirit elbow from 5 feet away or something. See, you're in trouble now.
Yeah, I'm in trouble. Yeah, different strokes for different folks. It's all good.
I
Wrestling
never
is a
said superplex Falcon's arrow, so nobody close to our inner circle is going to be affected by this. Or maybe now they will. You will.
yeah. Go ahead. Leave us a comment below what you think.
If you're a guy with a string of blonde hair and does a
No,
superplex
stop
Falcon arrow, please review our podcast on iTunes. Why are you turning around?
That's funny. Sorry. You
Anyway,
got me thrown
speaking of
off now.
wrestling, well, I'll get us out of this now. I have no segue, so I'm just going to punch right into it.
Yeah,
Like
let's do it.
I'm probably going to punch me one day when he meets me. No, he actually big leagues me. He doesn't ever pay
No,
attention to
no,
me.
no.
So we're talking about working out while traveling. We're talking about
Yes.
training. We could call it on the road with wrestling, but there's people to vacation. There's people visit family, go on day trips, go outside of just even their city and spend the night somewhere else. But they don't want to miss a workout. They don't want to do that. So there's certain elements that I've done over the years, and they have switched now. We have to talk about family and fitness because as single guys traveling, whether
Mhm.
you're talking about traveling for X endurance or with me traveling for professional wrestling, that changes when you're bringing a
Yeah.
wife, or in your case, a wife and children.
Hmm.
You have to be a little bit, how should I say, more careful about your hotel choices. So
Sure.
maybe we should start with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think with the talking about traveling and fitness on the road and traveling and how you make it a priority and stuff, I think, you know, you have a lot of experience of that. And I have a little less experience with it. But yeah, it's the hotel choice is a huge piece of it because when I travel with family, if there's no gym in the hotel, I'm probably not going to get out and get a workout in, because it's hard if I'm taking my wife and kids doing anything, or it's not like I can just run to the gym. I mean, I could probably, but I just don't, because it's not convenient. And then there's a little more hassle, and then I got to deal with the kids and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not taking the kids with me to the gym. So yes, the hotel is a huge piece of making sure that you get something. A lot of times the cardio and whatever is not my favorite thing, as we know. But a gym or a hotel with a gym in it, that's huge when I travel on the road. I mean, I can imagine that for you, when you were traveling all the freaking time, that was a big deal. But yeah, traveling with family is a little bit different. A lot of times don't even get the workout in.
Yeah, I mean, I've told this story on the family and fitness episode that the first Christmas my wife and I were together before we were married, we went and visited our family. We drove from Georgia down to Florida, so it was a long trip. So we initially got a cheaper hotel, like
Mm-hmm.
the hotel that was close to her family. It was okay. There was a very stripped down gym that at the time I had an Anytime Fitness membership, because back then even we're talking about maybe 2016, there still weren't as many 24/7 gyms,
Mm.
especially Christmas Day. It wasn't as prevalent of a thing, and especially with key card access, Anytime, Snap Fitness, those were two of the major 24-hour gyms. And of course,
Sure.
you had the bigger ones like 24-hour fitness and stuff. But most of them still closed on Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking about Planet Fitness, 24-hour, LA Fitness, Golds, they're closed on Christmas Day. So that key card access was huge for me. But I remember I was getting up and I grabbed the key and my wife goes, "Where are you going?" I go, "I'm going to work out." And she, "Oh, no, you're not. We got to see my family today." And go, "You need to understand something right now." That's only one of like maybe two or three things over since we've been together where I kind of put my foot down. I was like, "I need to do this." I go, "I'm
Sure.
nervous enough about meeting your family, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I do not miss a workout and I never will."
Sure.
And she was cool with it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, that's
that
awesome.
was but as you said with hotels, as time went on, speaking of time, to me, time is money. Time
Yeah.
is precious as you get older. And that 15 or 20-minute drive to drive to a gym, which
Sure.
by the way, you could be driving to the gym drinking your pre-workout. It's happened to everybody. I'm sure it's happened to you. You're assuming the gym's going to be open, that there hasn't been a fire, that there hasn't been a power outage, that the person hasn't overslept. And you're drinking that pre-workout and you get to the gym and it's closed. And now your
Sure.
pre-workout's kicking in and you're like,
Yeah.
"Do I just run in place here? What do I
Sure.
do?"
Sure. Sure. Yeah. No, I think that to me, I guess we could talk a little bit about the pros and cons of working out on the road, and like some of the negatives of working out on the road is you don't know what gym's going to be open. You don't know if you can find one in your place. You don't know where you're going to end up. So having a hotel room that has it built in for you is a huge thing. And that's something where when you're looking to book a hotel, I think that's really important. I know you've brought this up before, where you'll book maybe a little bit more expensive hotel if it has a really good gym. And if, the gym, you don't have to go pay a drop-in fee for the gym or go find another place. And, when I've traveled, my recent years of traveling, I don't, for wrestling, I don't do so much where I stay overnight or anything like that. And I don't have to worry about training on the road. I work out at home in the morning and then I drive to the show. So that's not really been an issue for me. But with X Endurance, I've traveled for some stuff for that, and finding a gym is nice because X Endurance HQ actually has like a full gym in the headquarters, and so I could train there if I wanted to. But a lot of
Is that
times,
out in Arizona, by the way?
yeah, it's out in
Okay.
Scottsdale, and so like they have a full gym there that I could go to. But the hotel that I would stay at has actually a really really nice gym with a full set of dumbbells, but not. I don't think they have more than 80 pounds. Which is a pretty good set of dumbbells to do in a hotel gym. So like,
Right. I'm just laughing at you at 80 pounds.
but
I think I did 80 pounds of volume total today.
yeah. Well, like it's just there they have that. This gym had a rower in it. It had a treadmill, had an elliptical, had just a stationary bike too. So like, and then it had a full, like a cable machine. So like it really had pretty much everything. And that ability to go get a workout in before I go do because usually the day, if I'm traveling for business, the day is full and there's, you got to get the workout in the morning. And then I've traveled, I remember last year or 2 years ago, I traveled to the CrossFit Games and was there for a couple of days. And we got a hotel with a gym in it so we could work out in the morning, because for that specific reason, like, gyms are packed when everybody comes to the CrossFit Games. There's a million people going to all the gyms. And so having a gym in the hotel to get it in before you go then spend the whole day working, it's nice to have a hotel with a gym in it, and making sure you have equipment. You can get creative if you have minimal equipment, but having some equipment in the gym is a huge thing when you're traveling on the road for business. And I know that there's a mindset piece of it too that comes into play when you're traveling. Like you said, that I got to get this workout in, like I have to. And I think that on the days where you're traveling, and it helps kind of flesh out some of the jet lag and the stiffness from the flight and all those kinds of things. I know I've heard people talk about how the first thing they have to do when they get off the plane is go work out and get that figured out so that that's done, and then take a break and rest and all that kind of stuff. I'm never really been somebody that's really focused on that so much, but traveling and working out on the road just feels good in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I am one of those people, and I have to watch it sometimes, especially now if I have to travel out to, say, Force USA in Utah, or do other kind of affiliate type of relationship visits. It's tough because I do want to go straight to the gym, because you're in an airport, you're in this tube with people like this up against you. You're already sweaty and don't feel right, and you feel nasty. So that for me is to eliminate toxins. If they had a sauna or a hot tub, that would be even better. But
Sure.
the gym itself, I actually every year, or every time I go out to Force USA, there's actually a hotel gym that I say is my favorite one. And I have been up on YouTube over the past 2 years. Just an incredible gym. And just the way it's set up, you always dream when you look at these gyms too, Mike, and you go, how much would it cost to like mimic the look of it's just so clean and bright. Sure. And like, that's my dream one day, not to have a huge gym or anything like that, but to have one when people walk into it, family and friends that work out. Hopefully you'll be there one day to see it. And you go, wow, this is like something you should really charge money for. This is clean. Sure. The lighting's perfect. And of course, from a production standpoint, the geeks like us have to be like, okay, what's color, temperature of the lights? What's this? Light balance and all that goofy stuff. But I have to say this, just, and you can talk about hotels because we're going to try to get sponsored by them. That's our goal now from now on. The Hilton chain, as expensive as people might think Hiltons are, of course, they have Hamptons and other types of hotels that are spin-off brands. But the Hilton brand, for me, especially having a wife wanting inside access rather than used to stay at Motel 6, Red Roof, outdoor access. I want that added layer of security for my loved ones. Sure, and then, of course, you book your room like 2 doors down from the gym. That's something I have to say off on a side note. It's great that when we're booking something, especially a family, if we're trying to figure something out, the family now knows if they call the hotel, and my wife, of course, knows, hey, can we get first floor? And is there a room near the gym? And they're like, oh, and it's great because in Utah, when I put it in, I'll get it and then I'll call to make sure, because OCD is wrestlers, right?
Sure.
To make sure the reservation went through and nothing went wrong. And when I call and I say, hey, I'm Michael Manna, Michael Manna, I'm here, calling about the room. I'm going to book on this date to this date. I was like, oh yeah, Mr. Manna. Yeah, we do have the room near the gym. We already knew, we saw your name, and you're like room 123 right near the fitness center.
That's awesome.
Hey, that's an incredible compliment. And they're like, we remember you.
That's awesome. That's great.
Actually sad. There should be a lot of people that are kind of making the gym on the road and hotels and stuff like that a true priority. I shouldn't really stand out when it comes to that. But getting back to the Hilton real quick, you are paying more. But what I looked at over time, besides the safety factor with my wife and whoever comes on the road with us, with this right here, when you go to a regular gym, I'm going to tell you right now, in 2023, I think day passes for the most part are done. They want you to sign up. So your
Oh,
access is actually, and even if you do get in, it's a minimum of $20 now on most
yeah,
day passes.
yeah,
Used to be 5, $10, and you'd be like,
right,
whatever.
right,
Now it's 20 or even more. I
sure,
haven't checked,
yeah.
but even Planet Fitness will not allow you to come in for a day pass.
Oh,
You have to
wow.
sign up even just for that day. Sign up online, pay your 10, $20,
Hmm.
and you have to cancel afterwards.
Wow.
So the hotel gives you the access.
Yeah,
Also, what if that Planet Fitness is 15, 20 minutes away, or LA
sure,
Fitness or whatever?
sure.
You're spending money on gas on a rental car or your own
Yep,
vehicle. Then you got to come back. The ride itself is 15, 20 minutes. So now you're almost 40, 45, maybe an hour with traffic just on the drive.
sure.
So now your time is being wasted doing that. So that changed my thinking of paying $100 to $125 for a hotel stay. But the time, the money that I might not even be allowed to pay for a day pass. Hey, say my wife comes with me. Now it's
Yeah,
$40.
yeah,
So now you're already the difference between a Motel 6 and a Hilton.
sure.
They're already kind of washed.
Yeah, totally. And that's huge. And that's something that I think everybody needs to factor in when they're doing their decisions. And drop-in fees have gotten really, really expensive. And it did. And I mean, I get it. I understand it. Like it's just the cost of doing business and whatever. I think I didn't know that Planet Fitness doesn't allow you to just drop in for a day. That's crazy. But whatever.
It
I
was
suppose
like
that's how
maybe
they
4 or 5 years ago, they wouldn't let me do it. They said, no, you got to
uh
sign up. We can't do, there's no paperwork or no transaction in there for day passes
huh.
anymore.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, yeah, I mean, that makes a gym in the hotel even that much more enticing. I know, like in the CrossFit world, they have drop in passes all the time. I mean, you can just drop in for a day and just drop in fee. Sometimes they'll even let you like get away with just buying a t-shirt and that's your drop in fee, you know, and but t-shirts are 20, $25 usually. So the drop in is whatever. But you again, it goes back to finding the gym and adding all that stuff in. And I think one of the down things for a hotel that people perceive down thing for a hotel gym is that there's not enough equipment. But I think more hotels now are getting to the point where they have better equipment in the gyms because it's become more of a thing as like this is a great add-on to the gym where their hotels are taking it more seriously. And so if you are traveling, just call the hotel ahead of time and find out or check online. They probably have a review or whatever of what the gym is that they have and see what kind of equipment. And then if it's not like I normally like to do bodybuilding type workouts. And I said that there wasn't a big dumbbells on some of these gyms. Some of the gyms only go up to 50 pounds, which for some people is going to be plenty of weight. But for me, that's not for some people on this show, it's going to be plenty of weight. But for me, I would like prefer for some lifts, prefer a little bit heavier, but you can just scale your workout for that day or change the workout or different type of workout in that gym. And it makes the traveling, the time. And a lot of times if you're traveling on vacation, you want to maximize the time that you're actually on vacation. So to your point of saving the drive time is huge to make sure that your hotel has a gym.
I have to just give my wife props again. I said I gave her a little bit of a hard time the first time, but it's amazing. We're going to Disney. I think it's Disney Resort or something here in Florida. We're going to go there for an overnight thing. It's her vacation week. So we're going to do a bunch of mini trips instead of trying to fly out because
Oh, nice.
flights are very unpredictable right now with cancellations and delays, of course. But the first thing she said was because she called the hotel and she goes like, they have a gym. I checked the pictures out. It's really nice. It's
Oh,
24
nice.
hours. It's just to know that like when your family supports, like, you can call it an obsession, you can call it OCD, you can call it a whatever, but it's just good to have that. The other thing about the Hilton that's awesome recently is they added Peloton bikes.
Mm.
The Hilton's actually, you talk about what you pay, but they have dumbbells. I think the one in Utah goes up to 70, 75. I don't go that far down the line of the rack. Sorry, I'm on the left end over here. They had a pull-up bar, a straight pull-up bar, suspension training, slam balls, plyo box,
Oh,
uh,
wow.
functional trainer, and then just a line of cardio. The Peloton was over there, a recumbent bike, treadmills, ellipticals. It's bright. It's got a huge TV in there. It's got one of those huge, like, kind of Hilton mirrors that have the wood frame around it so you could see. Then, of course, over the dumbbell rack, they have actual mirrors. It's a sweet gym. So you could go with maybe an off-branded hotel, but I think that a lot of those, and I've been in those hotels, talking about even a microtel will have some cardio or some other stuff, but ergonomically, you're gonna get like true, maybe Octane Fitness is like a high end, but their ergonomics are terrible on their ellipticals. The True brand, Matrix, these are all like like white labeled as hotel fitness
Sure.
equipment. But then when you get to a Hilton or a Westin or the ones you're paying for, DoubleTree, you're going to get pre-core cardio. You're going to get hex dumbbells with curved handles. These little touches, the benches are FID instead of the flat bench. The mats are actually pretty thick gym flooring. So if you are doing the plyo box and come back down, there's padding.
Yeah.
Whereas other ones just have a rug and then it's concrete.
Sure.
These are just little things, but as you get older, these are very important. So when you work out, when you're done, you don't end up feeling worse than
Right.
before you went into the gym.
Yeah, that's huge in the
Kind of
gym.
like you get what you pay for type scenario.
Totally. Yeah, no, that's right. I have a question for you, and I'm curious about this. That's what you do now when you're traveling and booking hotels now. What did you do 20 years ago when you were on the road consistently and traveling? Like was Planet
Yeah.
Fitness a thing 20 years ago? Is that
Oh, no. The 24-hour gyms were not even a thing.
yeah. So how did you do that? And how did you navigate? Give us some insight on how you did that in your wrestling career when you were on the road 200 plus days a year.
I'll start with a funny story
Okay.
about I used to travel with Kane,
Okay.
D'Lo, Rosie from Hurricane and Rosie,
Yeah.
Charles Robinson, but mainly was always Glenn and myself if we were both on the road I wasn't on house shows as much and stuff like that. And Glenn, which is his real name, we called him the GPS. We had the actual GPS on the dash, but Glenn knew where gyms were in every town.
Oh,
So
really?
he put it in the Jeep. So Glenn was our gym. We called it either Glenn positioning system or gym positioning system. He was our GPS. So, but I was the hotel and rental car booker
Got it.
for a time, and I'm going to explain why.
Okay.
Now, Glenn and I are very tight to this day, very good friends. As a matter of fact, I sent him, I'll show you this real quick. But we've been, by the way, he's one of the realest dudes you'll ever meet. He's awesome. Sure. He's very awesome. But I shared this meme with him. Remember the lady from the plane that said,
oh, yeah.
person and said, those MFers right there are not real and it's fake laser and diesel. So, he liked that. But
oh, that's great.
But my whole thing was, I'm just going to tell you, Glenn was making millions of dollars a year and he deserved it. I was the lowest downside you can get, 75 a year, which sounds like a lot, but when you travel 300 days, it's not a lot of money.
Sure.
So I wanted to save on expenses.
Yeah.
So we would, I'd book Red Roofs anytime we got a chance. Glenn was fine with that. They gave you a lot of stuff for free. Also, if one of the guys, nobody ever bought an animal, but it was one of the ones that if you brought your pet, the pet could stay for free. Well, when they started raising prices, I'm always looking to save money. And I said, well, these little off-branded hotels they're pretty affordable. America's Best Value, 20, 30 bucks a night. Then the ones that were like, holy shit, 15 a night. We got to stay there. Well, I'm rightfully accused of being naive at times. I'm just saying save money and I don't know any other detail, whatever.
Yeah.
There was also always a lot of commotion and movement and turnover throughout the night in those hotels, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
And then Glenn wasn't sure. And he was like, these hotels are getting worse every week. Then there one hotel we got to, and this is where Glenn just like, I thought he was going to kill me actually, but put his foot down. We went in there and the first thing was, do you want to pay by the night or the hour? And I was standing next to Glenn. So I'm thinking, oh, wait. So they think like, number one, they think that like, is Glenn the John or am I the John? That's my number one question. Then we got the room, and Glenn is looking, and he's like, I'm going to give it a chance, but I don't have a good feeling about this. We go in, we open up the hotel door, we turn around, and there's like bullet holes from the inside that haven't penetrated the door because it's a big, heavy metal door.
Oh no.
And he's like, Stevie, there are bullet holes in this door. And I was like, well, maybe we can get a discount because we have the room with bullet holes. He's like, oh my God. So he goes to hang his clothes up, and the closet has a hole from our room into the next room, and there's a spray painted heart around the hole.
Oh
And he's like,
no.
and I'm not aware of this, but I'm like, getting my bag, and he's like, you'll hear somebody scream, put your stuff back in your bag. And I'm like, why? Come here. And he was like, look at this. I was like, oh, wow, that's weird. And he reached through his arm and he goes, look at this. And I said, but they spray painted a heart around the hole. So he was, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? And he goes, get us our money back. Get us the F out of here. And don't ever book our rooms again. Well, okay. Well,
All
God,
right.
sorry, Paris Hilton. That's what I said to him. Sorry, King Glenn.
Oh
He's
wow.
like, if you don't get us out of this room now, I swear to, I'm like, okay. As I graduated and away from that and still saving money, there'll be days like after TVs, like after a TV, you're flying home the next morning. I have a 6 a.m. flight. So you're not really going to sleep anyway, or at least sleep well. So I would combine my saving money with also after driving sometimes, and I'm sure you know people in WWE, sometimes you're not in the town you're flying home from. So you got to
Mm,
drive like 100, 150 miles to get back to a major airport to fly home. So when that would happen, I would just find a 24-hour gym. I would work out, take my time. I would shower, sometimes sleep in the locker room, or like I said before, go to the rental car place, sleep in the rental car, turn the rental car in, and go fly home. And one other trick I think people could do, whether you wrestle or not, is you said, hey, sometimes they say if you buy a t-shirt, they let you in for free. When I go in and somebody would say, hey, the day pass is 10 or 20 bucks or whatever, I would say usually like, hey, I'm going to get a shake. I'm going to get some bars. I'm going to get a tan. I'm going to buy a shirt. Is there any way I can do that and then put the money towards that? And usually they'd be like, yeah, that's more than 10, 20 bucks. Yeah, that's cool. You
mm,
know,
yeah.
I wouldn't pull the do you know who I am? I would say, hey, let me support your business this way,
Yeah.
where you're going to make actual profit off this. And I'll spend 30 bucks instead of 10 or 20. And
Sure.
I get something out of it because I get a shirt. I also get the stuff I'm going to buy anyway. And we usually work out.
Oh, that's a great idea there.
I don't miss the road at all. I
Sure.
actually don't miss how hard it is to get a workout in, a proper one. And of course, eating right on the road is a whole nother, we could
Sure.
do a whole episode about that. But I miss the camaraderie of things like those moments, like little
Sure.
things like that, they might seem embarrassing or funny, or maybe in this 2023, it was just all in goofy fun just to make fun of each other. And the hotel thing was just me just being as frugal as I could and taking it a
Sure.
little bit too far,
Yeah, sure. No, I get it. I
obviously.
get it. Well, okay. So over the years, I mean, that was how it was, you
Should
know.
I edit that story out?
I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
Okay.
Over the years of you traveling on the road, and when you got like, when did it switch to where there was 24-hour gym access? How long ago was that when you started to be able to do that?
Um, I think it was prevalent in TNA because I belong to Snap Fitness. So let's say
Oh,
2009 or so, I think they started to pop up with Snap Fitness. Anytime started to become more of a thing because I don't think Planet Fitness, and I'm going to search for it if you can follow up. I don't think Planet Fitness went 24/7 or 24/5 until after the market kind of made them do that.
oh, sure. Yeah, I don't remember when that was. I've never been Remember, I think I've tried an Anytime Fitness one time, but I've never been a member at one of those 24-hour gyms. So I don't really even know. And Planet Fitness, I've never even been inside of one, just because there was never one close to me. But actually, I take that back. I just totally lied to everyone. I was a member of an Export Fitness in the Chicagoland area, and they were 24 hours. And so I was a member there for a while. But that's my only experience with a 24-hour gym. But I would go normal hours, like 5 in the morning, something like that.
What's funny is I just looked at a Reddit thread from 5 months ago. Somebody said I called the location, whatever location this was, Planet Fitness, I go to, which used to be 24/7. The lady said no more Planet Fitnesses worldwide will be opening for 24 hours any day.
Huh.
So I'm not sure. Is that a thing now?
I don't know.
Well, that could be, I mean, we're doing this kind of in real time.
Yeah.
I thought that
Yeah.
they still have 24/5 on the one here in Florida that I drive by,
Hmm.
but I do not see on their website anything that says 24/7 or 24/5. They used to advertise it. So, hey, everybody's been great about this. Leave a comment below. Let us know, like, if that's true or not. If you're a Planet Fitness member, they change from 24 hours a day to whatever hours, maybe
Whatever they are now. Yeah.
5 to 9 is what it used to be, or yeah. I mean, if they did hours like they used to have, like I didn't like Planet Fitness at first because on Saturdays they would open at 7 or 8 in the morning
Sure.
and was like, I need to get there earlier than that.
Yeah.
I can understand it, but if they went back to that type of schedule, I wouldn't join a Planet Fitness again. That would be for sure. I'm too
Sure.
spoiled.
Sure. Sure. No, I get that. I get that. Okay. So then, traveling now, I mean, do you do much traveling anymore since you're back? You probably aren't going to be traveling anytime soon.
Not really. Not
Yeah.
really. I mean, the only thing I'm looking forward to traveling is going out there to see you and
Yeah.
oh, doing my first CrossFit workout on camera and all that stuff. But man, travel has been it's kind of funny. After all the years of traveling, I don't know how you feel because you travel a great deal for X endurance. So don't
Sure.
sell yourself short for that. That's a tough grind to do sales on the road.
Sure.
But I feel like it's never escaping me that I like being at home. I thought that maybe after a few years of not being on the road full time or even part time at this point, that I would miss the different cities or different gyms, especially because I was going
Mhm.
to write a book. We talked about books. I was going to write a guide every year to
No.
gyms on the
Yeah.
road. Now you can go to a website, so books aren't going to. But maybe that's something. Wait, I'll ask you off camera. I still think that's in my heart to do. That would be a
Yeah.
cool
Yeah.
thing
We can talk about
to
that.
drive across the country and rate these gyms as you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I always thought that there come a time where I would get that itch to go back on the road and get a different workout in a different gym every day. I don't feel that way at all. I
Yeah.
I, I feel like I filled up my quota of
Sure.
experience life on the road, and
Yeah.
it never excites me to the point it used to.
Sure.
That
Sure.
makes
Yeah.
sense?
No, it makes total sense. And I don't travel as much anymore, but when I was on the road a lot for work, and I would be in different gyms every week. I'd be in a couple different gyms every single week. And that there was some excitement there. And there still is when I go into a new gym. Like the town that I live in, the CrossFit gym just uh built a new they had just got a new location, and I walked in there for the first time, and I was just like, holy crap, this place is amazing. And that is one thing that I loved so much about being on the road and going into new gyms is I got to see new gyms. Like, it was exciting to see how people would set things up. And I just kind of like, I'm just kind of wired like that. When I walk into a space, I immediately assess what's going on in the space and see how they have the gym laid out, see how they have the equipment laid out, see what they've done to make it unique within the space that they have, because not every gym is going to be the same. And so then a lot of times for work, I would go to gyms in downtown Chicago, and it's not like you can just put up a uh, pole barn building and build your gym in a square space, right? Like, you can't have a perfectly measured out, perfectly fit space. So they would sometimes have to custom fit their gym space into whatever kind of storefront they could get in downtown. And so it was really cool to me to see how these gyms, I can remember going to South Loop strength and conditioning and going down there, and they were just on a main road downtown Chicago, like in the heart of downtown Chicago. And uh they had a building with a big garage door on it, and they turned it into a gym. And then they had a space around the corner where you could see that it looked like they knocked the hole into the wall, and you could see how this gym was set up over here. And then they had like a little cubby back here for the office that they converted into a gym space. And then they had like a second level that was for cardio equipment. And it was just
I
really, really
love those
cool.
gyms. I love those second
Yeah.
story videos.
Yeah, and it's so cool to see the different. That's one thing that for me, when I do go on the road, it is cool to see the different gyms that you can, and especially in the CrossFit world. Like I spend a lot of time in CrossFit gyms looking and doing samplings and sharing supplements and things like that. When I would go into a gym, I was always just like, wow, this is cool. I want to check this out. I want to see how you've laid out your space. I want to see what you've done to make it different and how you've maximized every inch. And then one of the cool things for me, just to this isn't really relevant to how to train better on the road, but from a business perspective, I would pay attention to this gym and see how they laid this out. And then when I would talk to another gym owner, I'd be like, oh, hey, so and so does this. Maybe you guys should try laying your stuff out like this in your gym. And then what it's translated into is now in my home gym, I've had all this experience of how to maximize space and what to do and how to make things work, that I was able to take some of that knowledge and use it in my home gym. But then watching those workouts and seeing the different workouts, if I do go on the road, I can see how another gym space, I can utilize the space to fit, because there's just so much learning from being in these different gyms. That's one of the things that I think is coolest about traveling and working out on the road, is you get to experience all the new places. And so that is to kind of talk about the pros and cons of traveling on the road. Yeah, the time for the gym in the hotel saves you a ton of time. It's convenient, it's easy, it's right there, but you are missing that experience of seeing a new gym and getting that different training modalities, different way of thinking about things, meeting the new people, the experience of the relationships that you could be built by doing that. And so that's one thing, like when you're on the road, if you're not on a time crunch, or if you don't have all these other, hurdles to get over, try going to a different gym, try dropping in at a CrossFit gym, try dropping in at a Planet Fitness or a Globo gym or a local strength and conditioning gym, and do something different, because why not? You're traveling, give it a shot. So I think that there's a lot to be said about trying to find different gyms when you're on the road, and then not just finding gyms to keep going here. When you're traveling, you can take equipment with you, like a couple years ago, again, was at the CrossFit Games, and my buddy Spencer was there, and he brought he has a truck, so he drove to the games and he brought some bumper plates, he brought a barbell, he brought jump ropes, he brought a whole bunch of stuff for us to do, and we just worked out in the parking lot because we brought everything with us to make sure that it was a priority. Because when you're traveling, it's so easy to just, oh, screw my fitness, I don't really care, I don't need to focus on my fitness anymore, and you can just forget about it. Some people have if you're training all the time and you go on vacation, I'm not going to train at all. Okay, cool. If that works for you, if it's a personal thing and that's what you feel like is best for you, go ahead. But if you feel like you need to get your training in on the road, and you don't know if you're going to have a hotel, or if you don't know if you're going to have a gym in the hotel, or if you don't have time to go, a super simple thing to take with you is some bands, so that you can travel on the road and do those. We talked last week in the episode about doing just body weight movements, and bringing a deck of cards and picking a movement and different things that you can do there. We talked about a pool workout and the benefits there. A lot of hotels have pools, so there's lots you can do in that. And I think it's just the prioritizing your fitness while traveling is something that we should all take into account. Because when you travel, you plan out your packing, you plan your itinerary, where you're going to go. You got to get all the details figured out of what's going on for what you're doing while traveling. We'll plan that fitness piece of it too. Plan and make account for that so that you have it. A simple jump rope is an easy thing to take with you, that you can do a heck of a workout with a jump rope. There's just so many little things that you could do to where the gym doesn't even become a factor, and you can still stay in line with your fitness.
Yeah, I have to agree with the jump rope. You talk about the most minimalist type of workout that you can do,
Sure.
cardio, strength, endurance, everything, body weight stuff, yoga in your hotel room.
Yeah.
You don't have to leave the room to do that
Right.
stuff. So there's plenty of products out there that tout. Suspension training is great to be able to close the door and be able to use that. These are all things that can fit in your backpack. So
Yeah.
the bands, the jump rope, and TRX can all fit in your backpack. So three different things, three different types of workouts you can do right there. So if you're on the road, you can do one of those each a day and be fine,
Yeah.
or none of
Totally.
those do yoga.
Yeah.
It's it's definitely a lot of opportunity for people. The thing that probably people they probably understand because that term, you need a vacation after you come home from your vacation.
Hmm.
The road is a completely different element as far as energy, mental energy, especially stress, all these different things, which could mean you need to work out while you're on the road to eliminate the
Sure.
stress of being on the road. But there's way, way too many distractions. And it really does take another level of discipline, or what I would say awareness, because you're aware that
Yeah.
you're going to be scatterbrained. Get that hotel gym, get the hotel with the gym, no matter what the money is, walk downstairs or down the hallway, in my case, use that gym, and you're off to a better start to your day.
Yeah. And I think that's where, like, for me personally, that's where I've always fallen short when traveling is I don't take the time, or I didn't take the time to plan for that ahead of time. And I didn't take the time to figure out, well, how am I going to fit this into my schedule? Because I was always trying to keep the travel time to the shortest window possible. And so when I would go on the road, it would be like, well, okay, well, I just need to arrive there right before I would get there. And like when I was on the road for CrossFit gyms and I was going and visiting these gyms all the time, I would show up right before I needed to start. But if I would have just planned a little bit ahead, showed up a little bit earlier, I could have got a workout in before we started. Or, when I've traveled, flown to different states and stuff, it's been, oh, I just need to arrive at the last possible minute. Don't plan to get ahead of it, get in there ahead of time. And then sleep is hard to come by on the road because just you're all out of whack from traveling and stuff. And that for me has been my biggest downfall when traveling is I don't prioritize and plan ahead the fitness piece of it. And I think for everybody listening, that that piece, like I just said, was when you plan ahead and when you're planning out your whole trip, make an account for that fitness piece of it. How can you get it in? And if you just do a walk, bring the equipment, whatever that works for you, but making sure that the approach and the mindset is, okay, I'm going to get this in so that you can stay on track and not come back from your vacation or come back from traveling like, oh man, I got to get back in my routine and I got to get back on the wagon of doing my fitness and stuff. So if you can keep it up for those couple days you're traveling, I think that would be huge in the overall mentality and approach of your fitness journey.
This is a travel hack, whether you're working out or not. And it's something I learned just after losing so many items or forgetting items on the road and having to buy them on the road and this and that and the other thing. Because most of your stress is from packing and getting ready. And most people do that the night before. What I did, I had always had to have my bag by the door because I never knew at times if I was going to get booked the next day for the tour or the TVs. So I always had to be ready. So it's a level of there's a level of OCD that people aren't going to experience. But
Mm.
after you lose your first or second electric toothbrush and your actual brush, you forget to bring enough shampoo or conditioner, all these little things. And it could be all of the above. And then
Yeah.
your entire trip is stressful because now, man, I'm so tired. I'm in the room. Now I got to go to CVS and find one of this and find one of that. What I had was two of almost everything,
Yeah.
toiletry wise. I
Yeah.
had two toiletry bags. The one toiletry bag was always in my carry on. And all I did there was I took it out. I laid the toiletry bag on my carry on bag by an outlet, charged everything I need to that's going right back in the carry on bag.
Right.
And then my actual bathroom and the toiletries always lived in there. So if I ran out of the travel stuff, I would replenish it, but it would never leave by the door. The clothes would get washed and get put right back in the carry on
Yeah.
as quickly as possible because
Yep.
I know if I get, because you're home for maybe a day, sometimes three if you're lucky. food shopping, this, pay bills, still get to the gym at home. You have to handle all the chores you have to handle to get
Sure.
ready to go. So that made it a lot easier. So if someone's getting ready for a vacation, I would say start packing that stuff up a couple days in advance if you're not going to use it before you travel.
Sure.
So gym stuff like the bands and everything, put it in a carry-on, and then might be another level of OCD. Do not check your workout equipment in
Oh,
the check
sure.
bag. Bring it
Yeah.
in your carry-on or personal
Sure.
items.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's a good hack there. And then I also too to add on to that, your shoes, your footwear. And so like when you travel, you don't want to pack 800 different pairs of shoes. And I know if you can, they make gym shoes that are great for training, but also great for just every day. And so finding a good pair of shoes that you can wear and not have to pack extra shoes would be huge. That's something that I've always focused on is I try to wear shoes every day and that I can wear in the gym too. So I don't have to carry more shoes with me than I need to. And I'll carry a pair like flip flops or something because they're easy to pack. But my regular shoes, I just try to find a pair of shoes. And man, I got
I
a
feel like
pair
you're
of,
imitating me and Johnny Ace at the same time.
I know, right? It's ridiculous. I trying to I got a pair of all black shoes. And
Dude,
then,
we're on the same page. I was just about to say that.
well, yeah, because like they're CrossFit, they're Nike Metcons is what I bought. I bought them a few years ago, and they're all black. So if I needed to dress up a little bit, I can wear the shoes. If I needed to just have casual, comfortable shoes to wear, I can wear the shoes. And if I needed to work out, they're training shoes, so they fit perfectly. And so that for me, when I'm traveling to minimize the amount of stuff that I have to carry, those shoes are perfect.
Well, in black shoes, I've always had black sneakers.
Sure.
That's all I want to ever have because of those things, because you can switch into different things and nobody knows the difference. Usually, and then you're in our fields of work anyway, it's fitness. So
Yeah, doesn't
you're
matter.
wearing black sneakers with jeans or pants, or whatever, nobody cares. The thing is too that when you're on the road, you're in environments that aren't going to be necessarily clean.
Mm.
So if you have white sneakers, you're going to be in the hotel room trying to
Yeah,
scrub
yeah,
the sneakers.
sure.
So you have black sneakers, you can wipe them down or do whatever or freshen them up, but essentially they're more durable and they look newer for longer in those different situations.
Yeah, totally.
I would
Yep.
dare say,
Yeah.
don't even check a bag. I would never check a bag again. I fit
Oh,
everything in
sure.
the carry-on. I mean, I
Yeah,
wear the same clothes, same type of stuff. This folds up and
sure.
all the other stuff, I would, you and I are both at that point, like of when it comes to travel or business, we're control freaks. We don't want to check a bag and count on
Yeah,
anybody. Plus the 20 to 30 minutes that
yeah,
you usually have to wait to
yeah,
maybe find out that they lost your bag,
yeah,
so you just wasted a half hour. That's a workout right there.
yeah, yeah. If you can avoid checking a bag when traveling for on flights and stuff, that's a, a absolute necessity if you can avoid it. When I travel, excuse me, what is going on here? Holy smokes. When I travel with my family, obviously we check a bag, but even then I like try to check one bag and try to fit everybody into one bag. And then we don't have to worry about 4 million bags coming, and carry on as much as we possibly can
Yeah,
when traveling. So yeah, that's a huge, huge hack too, but I think it's what it boils down to from traveling and fitness and training while traveling is, uh, prioritizing it and thinking it through to make sure that you're prepared and making sure that you've prioritized and had it set so that it's um thought through and not an afterthought, and not because it's so easy to just say screw it, after if you don't plan ahead. So as long as you're planning ahead and you're efficient about the packing and what you're bringing with, or you scout ahead where you're going to be and allow for that time so that you can stay on your fitness goals, I think that's the most important thing when training while traveling, and finding a place that fits what you're looking for. If you're looking for a different experience, go to a gym. If you're looking for efficiency, stay at the hotel. If you're looking for even more efficiency, do it in your room, pack something with you. Just really planning ahead is kind of the key to unlocking success while training while traveling.
agreed. I couldn't have said it, but I'm not going to make you take us out on this one. Your voice, your voice.
I think I got it. I think I cleared what was going
All
on.
right, I'm going to let you go then. because
All right, cool.
you'll have a stronger voice than I do, even with
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks everybody for tuning in this week. You got a little bit of everything here in this episode, some stories and some hacks and some travel tips, and maybe some motivation to plan ahead next time you go on a travel. So thanks for tuning in. As always, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. If you're getting some value from this, please share. That's our goal here, is to try to bring as much value as we possibly can. So let us know what you think. Give us a comment, leave us a review. Always appreciate those reviews. I do have to say, from a review perspective, last episode or 2 episodes ago, I gave my friend Katrina some crap for not leaving the review that she was supposed to leave, but she actually did. So sorry, kiddo. I call her kiddo because I give her crap that she looks like she's like 15 years old, but she's in her 30s. So I still call her kiddo. But anyway, Katrina, sorry about that. So, but leave us a review. Let us know what you think. And yeah, check the links in the description if you want to support the show. We're going to continue to do more stuff like this. We got some fun episodes coming up to continue to help you on your fitness journey, help us stay on track with our fitness journeys. And you can always, follow Stevie at Stevie Richards Fitness, follow me at Big Mike Behrens on our channels to see the different content that we bring. And yeah, thanks for tuning in this week, everybody. We'll see you in the next episode.
I'm not going to ruin this, but we do have a great review that was left on iTunes by Trina Loves.
That's Katrina. Yep, that's her.
I'll let you take us out if there's, the saying, quote, the hole's bigger. Oh, you told me this. Yeah, she did leave the review. We read that. God, CT is a hell of a thing, isn't it?
Well, so she texted that to me, and then I gave her some crap for not putting it as a review. And then I texted her. She texted me yesterday, and she said, "Hey, I left that as a review." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I just didn't see it." But she had actually left the review on the 6th, which was right after or the day before we recorded or something. And I just didn't see it. So
I love it. Her copy and pasting the entire text and making it the iTunes review.
Yep.
It's like F you to you for yeah. Just copy and paste. I'm not going to put any thought in it. That's what you get, Mike.
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
I'll let you really take us out this time. Sorry. Thank you. We have 8 5-star reviews and 3 or 4 written ones. We're thankful for that.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you supporting the show. Appreciate you supporting me and Stevie as we continue to try to bring value. So thanks for tuning in this week. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.